Hi everybody, welcome back to Slone Stitches. If you're new here, my name is Jess and this is my channel all about cross stitching. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. How are you? There are a lot of you. We are at 2,000 and some subscribers now, so that's incredible. I don't really know what to say about that. I know I had kind of mentioned it in the last video and said that I would have some giveaways this week if we did hit that number. We did. I don't know. When I started this channel, I said, well, maybe like a few people will watch and be interested and stick around, but there are over 2,000 of you now that are interested and stick around, and I really appreciate it. So later on we are going to do a couple of giveaways, so stay tuned for those. I have so much to talk about. I do want to say I'm going to do a fabric stash Flosstube extra. So it won't be in this video and it won't be part of a regular update. It will be an extra just in case that kind of video is not your thing. Look for that hopefully sometime early next week. That's my goal, is to get everything out and film it because I need to go through my fabric stash and figure out what I'm doing and what I'm keeping and what I don't need to keep anymore. And the Instagram poll I put up shows that quite a few of you are interested in those types of videos, so I will film it. Very casual thing. Hopefully I'll have that up as an extra in the next week or so. So this is not one of those videos where I think I don't have a lot to share, but I really do, and it surprises me with how long it is. So we're gonna get straight into it here. The first thing that I want to talk about is I want to give a big shout out to Steph from Lindy Stitches and everyone who helped make the Harvest Moon Hangout Retreat a couple weekends ago. So much fun. I had a blast. The last one of those virtual events that I attended was the Jingle Ball last year, and we were so busy that I didn't get to do any of the stitching rooms or any of that. And this time I had the weekend blocked off, and except for volleyball games, I was pretty much able to hop in and be in stitching rooms. I watched all 3 designer chats, and I just had such a great time. I did a little shopping, did a lot of chatting. I want to give special shout outs to the little group that we kind of formed on Friday and took into the weekend. It was so nice to have a group of people that gelled the first night and then were able to kind of hop through the event and say, you know, this room's great. We're having a great conversation over here. Don't forget to watch this, you know, things like that. So special shout outs to Catherine from Accounting My Stitches, Abby from Mountain Mama Stitches, Jason from Jason Cross Stitches, Andrew the Runner Stitcher, and Melanie and Michael from Uplift Stitches. What a fun group. At one point, my cheeks hurt from laughing so hard. It was fantastic. I had such a great time hanging out with them. And then there were so many other people that I met along the way and others that I didn't quite get to connect with that I wanted to, or that reached out to me. And we tried to come up with a time where we'd both be online. And it just didn't work out. You know, real life stuff got in the way. Time zones got in the way. So maybe at the next one, I will be buying a ticket to Jingle Ball. We'll see. But I mean, I'm going to forget people. But I connected with Eli from Thick Threads, Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot, Tori from Tori Menu Quilter on Instagram, Lisa from Paddock Lane Designs, Amy, Lola Crow, just people, I know so many more. I'm going to forget people. I'm very sorry. I'm not doing it on purpose, but just so many fun people that you run across in stitching rooms. And I had such a great time. And I will tell you, if you go to these events and you don't watch the designer chats, you're missing out. Even if it's not a designer that is typically your style, I learned so much about the creative process and thought it was so interesting listening to these people's journeys and how they got to where they are as a designer, as a cross stitcher. And it's just fascinating. I highly recommend going to any designer chats that they have, any of these meet and greets at these events, because they were so interesting. So yeah, I did a little shopping. I bought 2 of the 3 designers patterns. I bought the Stitchy Pros pattern, and I bought the Lola Crow, of course. The only reason I didn't buy the Stitch Crypt was because it's got like it's a bird, which is fine. One thing I did notice during the designer chat, and this is the stuff you find out in these chats, little exclusives. She showed a sneak of a pattern that's going to come out from her. I think she said in the next month or so, maybe next, I can't remember exactly, but it has a black cat and there's a whole stone windowsill situation. It's my vibe and I'm very excited for that. So I will be buying that one. And then I bought the exclusive fabric. Okay. So when Steph posted the preview of the fabric, it's called Sepia Sorcery. And I was like, ooh, love that. Was going back and forth. Do I want the linen or do I want the Aida? Because the Lugana didn't really take the color very well, or at least not as well as the other 2 did, which is typical. And I was like, well, I'm going to go with the Aida. I'm going to get the 20 count Aida because it feels like those colors are richer. Like it's taking those colors really deep. And I like that. I don't know what happened here. This is my piece of fabric. Like if I have the screenshot I took of the preview, I will show it here. This gorgeous dusty purple, brown, blue situation. This is my piece of fabric. You can't even like you can see a little of it. It's there in the bottom there, but it's mostly just brown. It's like a brownish purple. This is what I'm working with. And I was like, okay, so my piece obviously took one of the colors a lot better than the other. I'm going to turn on a light. See if this helps. Not really, but that's okay. Womp womp. It happens. It happens. And I will find something to go on this, but it is definitely not going to be the Mirabilia that I originally put on this fabric. It's okay. It's fine. Something will go on this and will look great. It's just not what I originally expected. Sometimes you get the piece of fabric that took part of the dye way too well. They can't all be winners. It's fine. It's fine. No complaints. Just surprise when I open the package in the mail. Let's just move straight into stitching from there because, like I said, I have so much to talk about. So I have both an FFO and a finish. So an FFO, if you are new to the acronyms, is a fully finished object. And this is something that I had finished about a month ago. And I had shown this little tray I bought Michael's when I first purchased it, probably a month and a half ago or so, when they first were putting Halloween stuff out. So this is the Autumn Drizzle from Pigeon Coop Designs from the Cross Stitch in the Forest book. And this is a little tray that I got at Michael's. And I finished it in here. Isn't it cute? Look at this. So this is a Christmas gift for someone in my family. I think it looks great in here. Just a cutie little tray. So I wanted to show that because I did spend about an hour yesterday getting it together and putting it in the tray. And I'm proud of it. So I can't wait to gift it. I know they're going to love it. I wanted to show that really fast. And then my finish is the StitchCon Keepsakes exclusive pattern from Heart and Hand Kindred Friends. And I also stitched the StitchCon exclusive border that we got as a freebie in our agenda, in our guidebook for the weekends. And I made a little alteration because on it says this way to StitchCon in 2 places around the border. And as you'll see here, I changed the one part of the border to say my table number and the weekend that I went to. So it's all done. I stitched this on everything called for. I bought all of the kit materials. at StitchCon. So it is 16 count aida in cookie dough from Needle Bling Designs, and it is all of the classic Colorworks threads. And then in the middle here, there's a little kitty cat button because Keepsakes has a shop cat, and her name is 310 because she's black. So they provided the little buttons. So like this is Keepsakes, and like that's Barbara, and the Stitchy Bus, and the bell you ring when you finish. All the little things that make Keepsakes and StitchCon what they are. And I think this looks great. I'm really happy with the alteration that I made to the border to put the weekend and the table number in it. And I know a couple people reached out and were like, can I steal that idea? And I was like, yes. I don't feel like it's a very original idea. I think there has to be someone out there somewhere who probably also did that. I just haven't seen it. But I like it. So I think my plan, maybe once I get my life together with my craft room and everything, is to get this sewn into a panel and make it into a project bag. So that way I can take it to StitchCon next year, hopefully. The invoices start going out tomorrow, so fingers crossed that I get one this week. I don't think I'll have a problem, but you never know. We'll see. So look at that. Who am I? A finished and a fully finished object all in the same week. Okay, let's get into whips. So we're going to start with my Carline stitch. I only work on this at the Carline of my son's school when I go pick him up because I have to be there stupid amounts early every day to make sure that I'm not there in a mess. So this is the wolf from Cottage Garden Samplings. I am doing this on a piece of 36 count linen in the color Nothing from Mystic Fabrics. And someone had asked if I could try to remember to say what threads I'm using. And I wrote back and I was like, I will try. I have no promises there. I'm usually very boring. It's usually either just the called for or the DMC conversion. But I'll try to point it out. Some of them I'll probably forget because I do consider it basic what I do. But you never know. Sometimes things are better than I think they are. A little more interesting, I guess. So let me move all of my stuff out of the way. And I'm going to have to put something behind him because this fabric, there we go. So here's where the wolf is now. So this last couple of weeks, I finished fleshing out a bunch of his face. And if you missed my last update, I did that because somewhere in there, I counted one off on the outline of him. So he's a little more chonky over here, which means one of his eyebrows that I counted in based off of that outline is off by 1. So I wanted to make sure his face looked okay with the wonky eyebrow. And it does. And then I also found out this Carline stitching might not be for me. Something over here is 1 too wide as well. He's just going to be a chunky boy. And I'm okay with that. Wolves come in all shapes and sizes, just like people. So I fleshed out his face, got the whole tail finished. So the whole tail is in. That looks really cool. And then I fleshed out this leg. Got all of that stitched in, filled in. So all of his little paws are in. We've got a string of 4-day weeks here this next month or so, including this week. We did not have school yesterday, so I haven't stitched on this yet this week. So we'll see. And plus my son has joined Dungeons and Dragons Club, which meets 1 day a week after school every week. So, you know, the Carline stitching is going to go down a little bit. That's okay. It'll get done. It's really just a bunch of fill-in. And then I am going to chart the logo for his school and put it up here instead of the trees and things that are there in the original pattern. So it'll really be a little insert school district name here, Wolf. I love him. He's super cute. He's fun. I just wish this fabric wasn't quite so reflective. I still don't understand what it is about this fabric that almost makes it look shiny in the car in sunlight. It rained almost every day last week, and that was fantastic because that meant there was no sun and I could see it really well. I have so much stuff around me, I don't know where to put anything. Okay, next I want to show my Van Gogh frog. This is from Terry Mary's store on Etsy. Doing this on a 32 count Mystery Lugana with called for DMC. A warning about this pattern if you decide to do one. I don't know if they're all like this from her store, but there is a whole line of these Kermits. So just in case you decided to do one and you just blindly put it in Pattern Keeper the way I did, the symbols are not unique. At least one of them. There's a plus sign in this specific pattern that is used for 2 different colors. Now on the pattern itself, if you're doing it on paper, they are 2 different colors. So it's a black plus sign, but one of them is like a brownish red and one of them is blue. Pattern Keeper just picked up the blue and made all of the stitches that color. And I was just going along, like I think I have a picture of it from before. This is where it was. And I was just going along, put in some blue. It wasn't blue. And I actually forgot my tablet last night when I went to volleyball practice with my son, and I sit there and I stitch. And so I used my phone. I pulled up the PDF and I was looking at it and I said, why is this blue where I stitched it, but it's brownish red on this? It's because the symbol is duplicated. So check that, like pay attention, unlike me. So I picked that out, put it back in, and now we're here. Oh, the sun is going to be a problem today, isn't it? It's okay. You get the idea, right? Not everything's perfect. So, like, there's a couple different shades of like a brownish red in the sunflowers. I know there's sunflowers on this piece, and I didn't even think about it. I was just blindly stitching, following, you know. I mean, I have to do it in secret because it's a gift for my husband. So I wasn't, you know, just wasn't in the right headspace to catch a mistake like that. And I was forced to catch the mistake yesterday, which is great. Picked it out, put it back in, and now our sunflowers are all stitched in on this side. I'm not intentionally leaving Kermit until the end. This is just kind of how it worked with following a color until I ran out of thread or until it didn't make sense, because I really obviously was not in the headspace to count anything. So this is just kind of, it's looking good. This is the full width and height of it. So like this is the corner, the top corner. Go down to here, and this is, so not bad. It's like 40% done already, and I've not put that much work into it, honestly. So I shouldn't have a problem getting this done for Christmas. Wait until you see what I'm doing in October. We'll get to that. Let's see. So next, I want to show Reaching Skyward. This was my Stitch Go call for both numbers in September. So Whip Go is Jessie Marie Does Stuff's stitching challenge, and she pulls numbers every month. I have a Whip Go board. I also have a Stitch Go board. Stitch Go, I stitch 100 stitches per number. So like number 14, that's 1,400 stitches. 18 was 1,800 stitches. Reaching Skyward was in both of those boxes this month, so it needed a total of 3,200 stitches. This is where it was when you last saw it. And I'm really happy with it. And I finally forced myself to cut the fabric down to a more manageable piece. I have a thing about that. I don't know why I'm so scared to cut fabric down before I finish a piece. But I finally did it because it was getting a little ridiculous. So here's where Reaching Skyward is. Oh, I'm loving it. So I worked both of the columns down there on the sides of the main structure. I did a little bit in the border. Lots of fill-in. I can't remember if in my last update I had done the cats or not. So just in case, I'm going to show you in the middle here, the 2 little kitty cats. I think I have shown you because these are dogs in the original pattern. And I've turned them into cats. I think they're very cute. And then I also did all of this work here, which is very complicated, but very fun. Stitches on this go so fast. So I think it looks great. So this is a piece of 28 count mushroom lugana. I am stitching this 1/1 with 3 different colors of DMC. The pattern is charted with 2 colors, but I wanted to throw in that blue just to make the snowflakes stand out. And I think it accomplishes that goal very well. So I'm very happy with that. So that's where Reaching Skyward is at this moment. And it's called again. I'll go over in plans what my Whip Go and Stitch Go pieces are, but spoiler alert, this is coming up again in October, which is exciting. Okay. So speaking of Whip Go, my number 14 for September was a Feather Fairy from Mirabilia. And I worked on her a little bit at Harvest Moon, which maybe wasn't the smartest decision in the world just because of how complicated it can be. I mean, it's blocks of stitching, but pattern's kind of hard to read-ish, and I did it. So I got my 4 days in, because that's what I do with Whip Go. I give each project that's called 4 days of work, or 4 sessions, whatever. My board, my rules. This is where it was last time you saw it. I mean, we're getting close. We've still got some feathers to put in. We've still got legs. Then we just have backstitch and beads, and she is done. You pick the cat hair off. Nobody wants to see that. My needle minder picked up my pin. There she is. Oh, I love her. She's so pretty. This is a piece of 32 count linen. It's just a raw silver from Zweigart, and it's opalescent. So everything's sparkly. The fabric is sparkly. Her wings have all that Kreinik in it. And then these deep, rich colors of her feathers. I just love them. And I say it every time. The pictures that are on the covers of these patterns just don't do them justice. They are so rich. The blends really add so much to it. They're so fun. Oh, I can't wait to get this finished and start another one, to be quite honest with you. I was going to do the Snow Queen next on that sepia fabric from Harvest Moon, but that's not going to happen. That's going to have to go on something different. But that's okay. We'll see what happens. So, love her. I don't know if she'll come out again this year, but I am definitely going to put her on my Whip Go board next year, probably twice, because I feel like I could probably push for a finish on this next year, which would be super exciting. And then I can start another one, because I know my whole, I'm only going to stitch 1 project per designer thing went out the window very fast. But with a Mira, that's a lot of work and it's a lot of materials. And I do think I'm going to keep that to 1 at a time. That feels like the safest option. Next up, I worked on my Projet Temporateurs. This is from Delphine Luthine. This is a free pattern in a French Facebook group. The link never works. I will paste it in down below. Me make myself a little note to do that. And I am doing this not for this year, but for 1934, which is the year that my grandmother was born. So this is a memorial piece to her. This is on a piece of 16 count Aida Vintage Country Mocha from Zweigart. I'm using all DMC, everything that was suggested for the base pattern and for the temperature ranges. 2/1. And I started this on my grandma's birthday this year. And I have 3 months in now. So March had a bird, which, I mean, they're birdhouses, fair. I took it out, stitched in this little rainbow for St. Patrick's Day. And that's where we are. So I put March in. Each one of these takes me a day, basically. I mean, it's like I usually pick it on a Sunday and just work. So watching football, sitting around the house after a volleyball game, put in the whole darn thing. Let me bring it in so you can see where we're at here. It makes me happy to know that even in 1934, they were having some mood swings with the temperatures here. But there at the end, it started warming up. So we'll see. April is next. We'll see what happens there. And on the original pattern, it has like Paris, whatever, 2025. And I think I'm going to put her name and her birth year. So it'll say, Naomi Faye, 1934. So this is fun. It's just super easy. The flowers are super repetitive, but checking the temperatures and changing the colors makes it, a little more engaging than it could be otherwise. And I really enjoy working on it. And I enjoy the fact that it's a little different than your normal temperature chart, and doing it for a purpose beyond just the current year, which I know that is a purpose, but a deeper meaning to the project, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So it's a lot of fun. I love it. Next, we had the first day of fall between last filming and this filming. So I had to bring out my 4 seasons from Emma Congdon, who is also Stitchrovia. And this is a project I started on the first day of spring this year. I started with the spring part. Then on the first day of summer, I put in some of the summer part. And now I've started fall. So my goal is to start on the first of each season, work it over so that it's ready for the next season. And then once all 4 are started, I can go back each season as it comes up in the rotation and just work more on it. So this is just on a random piece of 18 count aida. I'm doing it 1/1. It is also another piece that I could do with cutting the fabric down. Don't mind my hanging thread. That is from a tree that I am going to need to stitch when it gets back around to spring, so I didn't want to get rid of it. And there we are. Oh, that sun. It's going to be a problem. There we go. So you can see, I'll fold it up a little bit, bring it in for the fall section. I got a lot in, really, for just a day working on it. So this is going to be a pine cone, and then there's like a plant flower type situation here. This is part of a duck wing. I know it looks weird. It's going to be a duck down here. Cute little acorn. So yeah, I've got it over to the edge of where winter starts. So in December, we can get that going. There we go. Love it. Love it, love it. Maybe after December, when I get it over to the edge, I'll feel comfortable. I know it's going to end like right here, but my brain will not let me cut this apart. Isn't that funny how that works out? And this is just with DMC, with the call for colors. No changes. I find that Emma is a master at colors that work together and color theory, and I am not messing with that. There are some that I will mess with. Hers are typically not one of them. Okay, we are getting to the end of the regular whips. Next up, I went straight into rotation. Trying to knock some rotation pieces down in September and in November when I'm not necessarily just doing seasonal stitching like I do in October and December. So this is Beauty and the Beast from Lina Ova on Etsy. This is on a 36 count linen in the color Sage Cheese from Fox and Rabbit. Someone put this on the freebie table at StitchCon a couple years ago. mean, yellow fabric isn't really for everybody, right? So I snagged it, and I'm doing this piece 1/2 on this fabric. I have no margin whatsoever, but that's okay. I just wanted it to fit because it's the perfect color for a Beauty and the Beast piece. This is where it was when you last saw it at what parade time, I believe. Although I said that for a couple pieces last time and that was incorrect. So just a little bit of work on it this time. I think it's looking good. Let's see. It's a bright yellow. It's really not coming out. Kind of. I love it. So I did a red rose in the corner there, a red flower. They really don't look like roses. It's a red flower. And I'll do one in the other corner as well. And all the rest of it is going to be in this classic blue that goes with the yellow. Like those are the Beauty and the Beast colors, or the royal blue and the yellow. So not really a very exciting update on this one, but it's an update. I touched it. I made progress on it, and that's all I wanted to do. And if you're curious, the colors that I'm using for this, I picked 816 for the red, and then the blue is DMC 3842. So just a bright-ish, but still royal blue. So it pops off of this fabric. I tested probably like 10 different colors of blue on this fabric because some of them look perfect when they weren't on the fabric. You can see some of them right here. And then when you put them on the fabric, they were too light, or they were too dark, or they were too purpley, or something like that. So there was some trial and error, and I figured it out. And now I really like it. So I'm happy for that. Last regular whip is Acorns and Friends from Lola Crow, speaking of Amy. Love, love, love this. Grabbed it from Acorns and Threads. It was an exclusive for one of their retreats earlier this year, and I was obsessed. Ordered it as soon as they released it to their website. I think it is still an exclusive to them. Probably until sometime next year. I'm not positive on that. Don't quote me. But last I checked, you could still order this online or call Acorns and Threads, and they can get it for you. So this is on a piece of 18 count blue Aida. I'm doing this 1/1 with the DMC. Ooh, here we go. So I finished. I either put in a picture where it was before, or I didn't. I'm off my game today for some reason. It's because I feel like I have too much to talk about. But I finished filling in the tree. And I put in the crow and the little hanging projects, which are so cute, and this little cutie squirrel. And I started on the skunk tail. So let's bring this in a little bit, especially the squirrel. He's so cute. These little projects of their little acorns, I can't handle them. They're so cute. And then I, started the little skunk, and he's going to be a cutie. I just love this. They're so adorable. I can't wait till I get to the possum. He's stitching upside down. Oh, that's really true. The color of the fabric. That's nice. I love her patterns so much. She's one of those that I broke my one pattern per designer at a time rule. Love some Lola Crow. I can't wait to see what next year's stitch along is. I was one of the people in her designer chat at Harvest Moon that were like, please do something like Broadway musical theater. That would be so fun. Animals doing theater. Amy, right there. Animals doing theater. It's so cute. I love a good anthropomorphic animal. It might be one of my favorite genres to stitch now that I'm thinking about it. The little things. I need to switch this out and put this in that one project bag I have of the little animals doing art. I might do that today, because right now it's just in my Christmas tree bag because it's what I had. Okay, I have 3 new starts. Fine. First, Away We Ride from Blackbird Designs. I've been talking about how I'm going to start this for the longest time. Kitted it up with, kitted up with threads, honestly, at StitchCon. Had them grab me some and bring it to the whole room at the convention center. I have this on a piece of 36 count linen in Ceres from Under the Sea Fabrics. It's the same piece that I bought at Stitchrovia this year that I'm doing my bat on. And I had Keepsakes get me all of the Gentle Arts threads. So we've got our color palette here. I am not doing the outside border of this piece, just the inside. So my friends Michelle and Hala and I started this at our stitching group meeting this past 2 weeks ago, I guess, almost 2 weeks ago. I'm going to have to put something behind this because this fabric is a little see-through. I started in the middle, which is not typically something that I would do, but I did. Just because I don't have very much margins on the sides for this. And with this not being the full piece, I was doing math and measuring some things, not with my heart, with a tape measure. So I think we're going to be okay. But here's where it is. It looks really good on this dirty looking fabric. And I'm getting a lot of flack for all the birds I'm stitching for someone who doesn't like birds. It doesn't count if they're spooky or if they're not easily replaceable, but not the focal point. It's just a little start, but it's a couple days worth of work, and this house is no joke. But I think it's looking really good. And I love the variegation. This is a couple different colors of floss, but it looks like it's like 3 or 4. I like it. So here in a minute, I'm going to show you a rapid fire of my October plans. And this is obviously one of them because this might be my new favorite Halloween piece. Next to start, I started at the Harvest Moon Hangout, and I tried to start it at night, which was stupid because I am doing this on a piece of 28 count 1/1, so it'll be little. This is Halloween Game Board by Calico Confectionery. This is a piece of 28 count lugana in pistachio from Atomic Ranch. I'm doing all DMCs. All the called for, except I might have to sub in a slightly darker green for any standalone stitches that are in green, because the called for is going to be really close to this fabric, as you'll see in a second. So I tried to start it at night. It was kind of a false start, but I did put a little bit in. But then the next day with natural light, no problem whatsoever. I can see 28 count, easy. 1/1. So look how little. But what a cute little witch. And then all the cute little details, little magic mirror ball, whatever it's called. It's really cute. It's fun. I like 1/1 stitching on 28 count. I prefer 25 count, I think, which is why I've switched my Stitch Me Fabric of the Month to 25 count, because I do like the little stitches. 28 count I can see, but certain dyers, the weave is either too loose or too tight, and it's just not as conducive as some. This Atomic Ranch is good. If you Stitch Me is good. Zweigart is usually good, especially the mushroom, but yeah. So when I pull it back, you can't really see how this is, but like the color of green that is in this little detail here, that's pretty much the same color as the fabric. And there are a few little spots where it would be standalone. So I have a darker green that I pulled and have in the project bag just in case I need to swap it out. Love that. Very fun. Again, something that I probably should cut the fabric down on, but I'm scared, so we're not going to do that. And then my last new start is the seasonal covered bridge pamphlet from Designs by Gloria and Pat. This is straight out of the 80s. Now, this is the pamphlet. I started the fall bridge. So this guy right here. I'm doing this on a piece of 18-count aida and ledger from Bestitch Me using all of the called for DMC except for a couple of substitutions that I made because Michael's was out of the color and I was impatient. And there was a close enough substitute in the DMC line. So who cares? I'm going to start out here so you can kind of get the full vision. This is the top left corner of the piece. So it's just trees, but you can see like this is going to be the sky in the background now. And, you know, the bridge will be in this white splotch. So it's just going to be surrounded by that gorgeous blue and cream. I'm so excited about it. I made a working copy. I'm highlighting. And I did it from the start. So I did not allow myself to get frustrated, which has been my mistake with other older patterns that are harder to read because it is handwritten. Look at that. I even have the back stitching in. Like, that's all the back stitching that's in the corner. Now, the bridge itself has a ton of back stitching. But I figure I'll keep up with the back stitching as I go. I'm so happy with it. Like, it's just going to look so good. I think it's the perfect fabric choice. Sometimes I question my fabric choices just a little bit. Even though I think I'm kind of starting to get known for my fabric, which is why I think the idea of a fabric stash video is so popular. But I love this. I'm super happy with this. This is one of those, like, I can tell it's going to be like a comfort stitch. Can she get the pattern back in the project bag? We did not make patterns 8x10 in the 80s. I'm telling you. This sucker is in here. Okay. Oh, also, I'll show you this. Look at this cute little project bag. And I'm absolutely not taking this pattern out again. But it's like pumpkin spice latte. Like, Michelle brought a bunch of project bags that she didn't want anymore. It's a stitching group. So I grabbed this one. It's very cute. I love it. Let's see. That's all the projects. I want to do a couple of giveaways. Let's do it. I have two. Two for 2K, and I have 2 vibes because I think it's pretty obvious by now. I stitch whatever I want. If I like it, if it's my vibe, I'm going to stitch it. I don't care. It can be anything. So I have 2 vibes here for giveaways. I'm going to show you this first one. My friend Kathy sent me this. She had reached out to me and she said, you know, have you seen this pattern? Do you want it? I accidentally bought a couple and I would send it to you. And I said, I've already stitched it. And she was like, well, I'm going to send it to you anyway. And you can give it away on your channel. I said, perfect. So this was in a Halloween edition of Just Cross Stitch, probably 3 or 4 years ago, maybe even longer. I can't quite remember. Maybe it was 2. I don't know. It says copyright 2023, but I feel like it was more than that. It doesn't matter. This is Counting Puddles. Perfect pirate. Look at him. Look at his hat. First of all, look at his hat. Look at the skull and crossbones, but it's a fish on the flag. Look at that awesome spider web. So, like I said, I had stitched this from the magazine. And I have it with me. My hope is to show you all of my finished, like fully finished Halloween and fall things that I have out in my next video because we'll be fully into October. But here's my finish of the little pirate guy. I can't tell you what fabric that is. I think it was like from a Bestitch Me grab bag. So I don't know the color. but it's, no pun intended, perfect for this piece. He looks like he's sailing away on like the murkiest sea. Isn't he cute? And this is from, let's see, I think this is from the Target like cheapy area. I bought it like 2 or 3 years ago. So if you would like to stitch Perfect Pirate, I will pick a winner right before I film my next video. My next video will be filmed on, I think, the 14th of October. Yes, October 14th. So I will not pick winners and announce anything in the fabric stash video. That is separate. But I will draw a winner for this on the 13th, so the night before I film. And if you reach out to me very quickly, I will very quickly stick this in the mail and get it to you so you can get it started before Halloween. And he's little. You know, he is 54 by 60. You could get this done by Halloween. So, rules. You have to be over 18 because I'm going to ask you for your address if you win. You should theoretically be a subscriber. That would be nice because this is a subscriber celebration. Say that 5 times fast. And don't say any of the keywords that'll get bots and scammers and spammers and all that into the comment section. I want this to go to a real stitcher. So nothing like winner, giveaway, win, entry, all that type of stuff. You know the rules. So the keyword for this, and you don't have to use it in a sentence unless you just want to make me laugh, pirate. Use pirate in your comment if you would like to win this little guy. And then for my second giveaway and my second vibe, I have this cutie little kit from Summer House Stitch Works. This is Prim 9 Patch. And when I say kit, I mean this has the pattern, the fabric to stitch it on, the threads to stitch it with, the backing material for the pillow, and the little tiny quilt square. Everything you need to get this little guy stitched up is in this package. So if you would like to win the little Prim 9 patch, then you're going to use the word patch in your comment. And good luck to everybody. I hope you're a winner. Okay. Let's really quick, I want to show something. Someone asked how I make my Q snaps, and then I'm going to show you my crazy Halloween plan. So very, very fast. I'm not going to do a tutorial because I'm not a professional. But this is one of my homemade Q snaps. This is like a 9 by 12-ish. I use this for Feather Fairy, Reaching Skyward. That's a lot in here. You can see. So this is 1/2-inch PVC pipe. Just from Lowe's, you get it. It's like a 5-foot long PVC pipe. You cut it. These are elbows. You can get big packs of those right where the PVC pipe is in Lowe's. These are clamps that my specific Lowe's does not have in stock. I ordered these online. They came in like packs of 10. So I got 2 packs. They weren't very expensive, but they work just like a regular Q-snap clamp, on and off. They are a little tighter than regular Q-snap clamps, which is great. But if you're worried about it damaging your fabric or leaving marks or whatever, put felt in between. That's what I do. You can see on my Kermit. It protects the fabric, keeps everything much tighter, honestly, because it gives it more to grip onto. It's a thicker fabric. And then do not get a hacksaw the way I did. That is dumb. You don't want to do that. See, here's this is the edge that you can cut if you use one of these. This is a PVC cutter. Did I know this existed? No. You undo the little thing, and this is gonna, not that power tool, it's a tool. And you put the pipe in here, and I'm gonna cut it. Let's cut it. And you literally just start ratcheting. And like you can see, I'm not putting any effort into this whatsoever. And there it went. If you're going to make your own Q snaps, get the PVC cutter. This thing's fantastic. It's very sharp. Keep it away from small children. And always use your safety. Okay? Okay. I look like some bizarre version of the Toolman Taylor, I swear. Okay, moving on. Let's do some plants. I have 2 starts coming up for Halloween. And you're going to think I'm lying, but I got out my 2 starts. I pulled out all the project bags of my Halloween and fall projects. With the 2 new starts, I have 13 Halloween and fall projects. I can't start anything else. This is my plan. This is October, my 13 projects for Halloween. It's too perfect. So, rapid fire. The 2 starts are from the Witchy Stitcher book. Tomorrow, October 1st. I'm not the only one starting it. There are going to be several of us starting this guy, the Vintage Halloween Ferris wheel. That's project number 1. That's a start tomorrow. I will show all kinds of things about that, I am sure, in my next video. My other new start, I am starting with Catherine, Accounting My Stitches, on October 13th, which is not a Friday, but it's still a spooky date. The Apprentice from Autumn Lane. Very excited about that. Beyond the 2 starts. Rapid succession. Projects you just saw. Seasonal cover bridges. I'm going to put pictures up here as I go through them. This is Halloween game board. Away We Ride. Witch's Hollow from Autumn Lane. The Haunted Library from Lola Crow. The Christmas Stitch Witch from Kathy Bear. Oh, there's a teeter and totter here. It's going to fall, and I'm going to be okay with it. The Woodcut Stitch Witch from Raven Coven. Percival from Mama Liz X Stitch. Rest a While from, oh, she got caught. Plum Street. See, and now I don't even remember what's in this one because it's newer, I think. Oh no. Oh yeah, Medicine and Poison from the Witchy Stitcher. And Something Wicked This Way Comes from Autumn Lane. 13 projects for Halloween. I'm going to rotate through them 1 or 2 days each as we go, depending on my mood. And I have to sprinkle Whipco in there. But all kinds of spooky stitching, and I'm so excited. My Whipco and Stitch Go calls for October. The numbers are 6 and 17. So for Stitch Go, number 6 is reaching Skyward. So it'll get 600 stitches. And number 17 is the triumphant return of Bath Time. Bath Time, I think, is all but one of the remaining numbers for the year. So you're going to see this cat a lot. 1,700 stitches for the little kitty cat here. Then in Whipco, number 6 is Music Amongst the Trees, which I'm very excited about because that's my memorial piece for my mom. And other than this, it was only going to come out for its anniversary, which is the day that she got sick and went in the hospital in November. So much brighter times for stitching on that this coming month. And number 17 is Rock. So, which kind of feels spooky, but not really Halloween because, you know, Norse mythology, but still very excited to get a few more days in on Ragnarok. Okay. I have the tiniest little bit of haul. And part of it is a PSA. So we have a couple of creative reuse stores here in Cincinnati where I live. And I went to one a couple weeks ago called Scrap It Up, which is about 25-ish minutes from my house and has very random hours, very short hours, but has so much good stuff. And I spent $11, and I'm not going to show you everything, but I got a bag full of stuff. There's I almost said a bad word. There's a crap ton of floss. There's all kinds of fabric. I mean, for 50 cents a piece, fabric. And I didn't get near all of it because I didn't need all of it, but and these fold out. These are decent cuts. A whole floss, And then I got 3 kits, also for 50 cents a piece. Bambi. This really cute Twisted Threads Itty Bitty Santa. This came with the floss. And then this is the big guy, because this can go for some decent money on eBay. This is brand new with all the materials. So this is a bag full of goodies that I got for $11. They are completely donation based. The workers are volunteers. So the cashiers are volunteer, the sorters are volunteers. Everybody is just working to keep the planet a little greener than it could be and help these products find their way into hands that can work with them. And I love it there. And I kind of want to go every week, but I know that's ridiculous, so I won't. But a big plug for if you have a creative reuse, please go check them out. Chances are they're pretty awesome. And then the last 2 little pieces of haul I have, if you have Libby, like through your library, and they have cross-stitch magazine subscriptions on there, that's where I get all of them now, because my library gives me access to like everything. The new cross stitcher for winter, it's Christmassy, came out. It's a UK magazine, and it always has Stitchrovia and Congdon designs in it, no matter what. This one is called Tinseltown, and I was awake at 5:30 this morning before I got the kid up for school, and I saw this and about lost my ever-loving mind. So I already have like 4 or 5 things kitted up to start Christmas, but I'm going to have to do that one too. I love that. It gives me New York vibes, Home Alone vibes, like that brownstone row house type situation. I love it. I have to start that. That's a definite plan. And then the last thing, if you have not opened your Bestitch Me Fabric of the Month for September, look away. I do the mix club, so I get color one month and neutral the next month. Although I might be switching that because I'm starting to get quite a stash of neutral and I kind of just want the fun colors, but we'll see. So this is neutral this month for the mix club. This is a piece of 25 count lugana in Antique Markets. It's a great neutral. I have no complaints. I might do Tinseltown on it. So, I mean, it's tan and not a ton of modeling. So I don't feel bad about using it for something that is full coverage. Because sometimes a piece of fabric, you're like, that deserves to be seen once it's finished. This is a great color, but I don't have any huge qualms about doing something full coverage on it because it is just pretty basic. So we'll see. Maybe not. I might do like a monochrome on it because you could put some pretty funky colors on this. So we'll see. And that's it. That's all I have. That's enough. I told you it was going to be a lot. I knew this was going to be a lot. And I probably blathered on through a good chunk of it. That's okay. I'm going to go. Thank you again so much to all 2,000 and whatever of you. I can't believe you're here. I still can't believe I'm here doing this. I had to be talked into it, and now I just love it. And I love this community. And I'm really grateful for everything that taking this chance has given me. So thank you. My email is in the description below. My Instagram details are in the description below. So please reach out, enter the giveaways if you want your chance to win, and watch out for that fabric video, hopefully sometime early next week. So until then, I will see you guys in October. Bye, y'all.